Join us as we embark on a journey where we're breaking boundaries, setting new rules. We're making a difference, developing young people. We're the billionaire generation, connecting Africa, promoting entrepreneurship. It's inspiring positive change. We're kicking doors. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are kicking doors. You're watching CNBC Africa, which is on channel 410. Remember, that hashtag on social media is kicking doors 410. That's kicking doors 410. With me right now is a mother, is a business leader, is a role model. She's an amazing lady. They call her a mining magnet. Some other people call her the iron lady of the mining industry. Mama Daphne Mashile, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
It really means a lot to us, and having a lot of young entrepreneurs and a lot of us that look up to people like yourselves. The first question I'm going to ask you, Mama, what does leadership mean to you?
Leadership to me means a lot of things. One of which it means sacrifice, hard work. What you put in must be what you get out. But also you lead from the front.
Yes.
And you lead by example.
And what would you say, what type of a leader are you?
Some call me autocratic because I want to get things done. Because if I'm going to be democratic, it takes long. And in business, you don't have time for that. So for me, I always say I'm autocratic with a feminine touch.
Yes. I've heard some interesting comments about your leadership style in the mining. I've had the opportunity to visit you and watch you do some awesome, I don't want to call it charitable work, but a lot of good work that empower the communities around your mining project. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
For me, I have not stopped being a mother. I've not stopped being a community worker. What I do in any sector is to look at people around me and say, what is it that I can do to improve those that are less fortunate than myself? When I went into the mining sector, I wanted to change the sector because I grew up in Pilgrim's Rest in Mpumalanga. And I knew that mining was not easy for black people, for women in particular. It's always been white, African and male, and I wanted to change that. So once you want to change something, it takes long, it's not easy, and I was prepared to be patient enough to get to where I wanted to be. Remember, I was not only representing myself or my family, I was representing society to say, if you want to change, be the change that you want to be.
And then talking about women, you're a part of a lot of women developmental projects and institutions. Can you tell us a little bit about your role?
For me, in 1992, we realized that we were talking about women going into business, but we didn't have the funding. But we were at that point in time talking about micro businesses. We then started what is now called the Women's Development Bank to start income generating projects for women. And our first loan was 300 rand. 300
rand?
Yes, for women in the rural areas to buy the bananas that they're selling in the small markets. And today, we then, in 1998, started an investment company because we realized that funding was drying up from the NGO sector. We then started an investment company which has, as we speak today, a net asset value of about 5 billion.
You were one of the founding members of Exxaro Coal, which is AOC's coal, the largest coal distributor in South Africa.
Yes, I think the reason why I actually went into mining was that even though I started with Sipho Nkosi, people always chose to see Sipho because he's a man.
Yeah.
And they never saw me because I'm expected to carry his bags. And I then decided, I said to Sipho, because all the time when you're looking for business partners, you're looking for men. Even with ASCs, I had to fight for another woman to actually be part of the founding team. Unfortunately, she died. Her name was Kodumutsweni. And how I got to recruit her, I didn't even know her. Sipho came and said, I'm tired of you wanting women. Give me a woman tomorrow morning who's a chartered accountant. I didn't sleep that night. I called all the women that I knew until they said, there's a woman at Eskom, she is a CA, and I spoke to her. And by the way, she had kicked me out of their consortium. But I said, Initially.
Oh, just like I was fired at Metro.
Exactly. She had fired me. She had the guts to fire me. And then I said, I want strong women like her that can actually stand by the decisions that they take. And I brought her as a shareholder of ASC's Coal. And when we listed in 2006 to become Exxaro, merging the assets with Kumba, and Sipo and 4 others, including Golisi, who's now the CEO of Exaro. We put him there, by the way. We said, of the 6 that started as CISO, 3 must go in as executives and 3 must go in as non-executives. Those of us who are non-executives will ensure that Sipo, Golisi, and Khodu were doing what we wanted them to do within that structure.
Before I let her go, we're here to celebrate what she's just achieved last week. Now, you guys have seen on Forbes Africa, on the cover page, you guys have read a lot about her. I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of the work she's done in the past. And last year, she was 2014 Africa CEO of the Year. She's just received this award last week in London as Africa Business Leader of the Year. What does this mean, Mama?
For me, it says to me, we are in the right direction in terms of doing what we are doing to become the role models of tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2014 CEO of the Year and 2015 African Business Leader of the Year. She's got multiple awards. She's achieved so much. She started ASIZO from scratch. It's a listed company today. She started Kalahari Manganese 14 years ago. Today it's standing in the Northern Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, Mama Daphne Mashile, thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much, Sbu. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in Kenya, Ghana, Ethiopia, Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe, everywhere on this beautiful continent of Africa, you probably might be asking yourself, what am I about? Now, I'm about moving Africa, and I'm moving daily with a team of amazing young people and amazing leaders and peers whom have all come together to make a difference on this amazing continent. I want you guys to take a look at a snippet that's going to give you a bit of an insight about the work that we do.
You wonder what your talent is. First, you need to find an inspiration. And that person that inspires you, you have to see what they do in life. And don't let anything stop you. Nothing stopped me from being a motivational speaker. And I'm happy and I'm proud to be an African child. I'm born free.
Everybody in this country should be helping each other. We've all spoken about it. We all speak about it all the time. So why don't we do something about that?
I'm actually very excited that I'm backstage at the National Achievers Congress for 3rd year consecutive, consecutive 3rd year on an international conference environment to be speaking alongside international greats. I've spoken alongside Robert Kiyosaki, I've spoken alongside Richard Branson, T. Harv Eker. Earlier, I was speaking to students at the Rosebank College in Pretoria. That's a different type of audience. Those are students, very smart, very dynamic, hungry, ambitious, lots of dreams, and they want to get somewhere in life, you know. So our foundation and Leadership 2020 being there and, you know, doing the campus tours and the dialogues, I think is a beautiful thing. And it's nice to impart something into their minds and just, you know, ignite that fire within them. You never know what you may say. They probably hear a lot of things from parents, from teachers, from friends, and, you know, from books they read and so forth, but you might probably say the same thing, but because it comes from you, it might just change that one life. So that's where we're leaving it for tonight. But if you want more, like I do, like I know they do, tune in next week once again, Tuesday evening, 8:30 Central African Time, and get the tools to help you conquer the business world. Remember to hit us up on social media. On Twitter, it's CNBC Africa. My personal one is at DJ Smooth with the hashtag KickingDoors410. Now, who said entrepreneurs are stuck up? Now, we're here on CNBC Africa to change things a little bit, you know. Sine flavor, like sense into zenzeke, like siyachiva, siqoka kahle, sikwazi ukwenza inyuku, build abantu, you know, everything we do is just too cool.